Hey guys, Tyrano
and Dudley. We're finally in a video right now, so he has his
I have a Nubatama deck profile for you guys. And starter is Selfie's Critical. Now what she does whenever she boosts a unit and there are cards in your opponent's bind zone, if she hits in the turn that in the one she boosts a unit, you Soul Blast one, you put 2 units in your opponent's bind zone into the drop zone.
Up to 2.
Up to 2. Now I run 2 more copies of her in a deck because there are a lot of decks that like retiring your units and soon to be
it puts pressure on your opponent. It makes your opponent guard. So when one of their good cards is binded, they want to guard it so they can get it back to their hand. So they'll waste resources in their hand, and they're still minusing because they guard it. And then when they get it back to their hand, they're gonna place it on field, and they're gonna have like no cards in hand, basically.
Yeah, it uses up your opponent's resources, and yeah, it puts a lot of pressure. So I run two more in the deck because Gear Chrono Guard are gonna become a thing.
And it also baits things out for like Paradisians now. Like they like to attack the rear guards, or Menace Laser Dragon, where when it's placed in rear guard, whichever column it's in, you can counter +1 to get rid of a card, and it can also be used like a target bait for stuff.
Yeah. Next, we're running Rainbow Triggers because that's all Nubatama have right now.
Until they get the next crit, which is a promo card.
Yeah.
But I think it's next month we're getting that pack.
Yeah, it is next month. What Stand Trigger does is you can put into a soul, choose a Nubatama unit, and it gets plus 3,000.
It's one of the generic effects.
Yeah. So yeah.
4 draws.
4 draws, 4 heals, 4 stands.
This is like crits. This is like T-Hawk's son from Street Fighter.
I'm not even sure if it's actually a hawk. Next, 4 perfect guards.
Oh no, it's like put it like that.
Oh, they're right
yeah,
there.
perfect.
1 vanilla AK because it's an AK. 4 stealth beat. Tempest.
Down.
Stealth.
Down. Out of it.
Tempest Stealth Rogue Fuki. What he does is if you can counterblast 1, put it in the soul, choose a card in your opponent's hand. If their hand is 3 or more, and bind it face down. So, yeah, you basically use that for.
And there's one thing about his effect. They haven't reprinted it. It's a mass factory misprint. Every card says 3 or less. I always get mad at him because I'm saying I think he's lying, but but it is when it says 3 or more cards. But each of the cards says 3 or less. I'll show you guys right now.
They're actually.
The number of cards in your hand is 3 or less, but it's actually 3 or more. It was an entire factory misprint. They were supposed to reprint these cards, or I think they said again to fix that, but they never did.
I believe they did. I just haven't gotten them. Let's see. 4 Metal Ridleys or Stealth Dragon.
Stealth Dragon.
Dreadmaster.
Oh my god, you're dumb.
It is Ridley. What he does in a battle, he boosted a unit and it hit. Count +1. If your opponent has more cards in their hand than you do, they have to discard a card. So it forces them to guard early.
A bunch of pressure.
2 vanilla 10Ks.
10Ks.
4 stealth beast Tamahagane. What he does is whenever he's placed on rear guard or vanguard, you choose a card. You choose a rear guard your opponent controls and bind it. So yeah, all the binding. And 4 stealth dragons Kukujo. What he does is every time a card is bound, well, for each card bound, he gets plus 2,000. And with the grade 3, you basically get plus 10 K if your opponent has 5 rear guards. Well, not including the break ride, of course. But yeah, he swings for really high numbers late game. Next, right now, just have 2 break ride. I'm gonna be getting at least 1 more.
Honestly, you should run 4 of that card because this is one of those break rides where even if you don't have the correct grade 3, it's one of those break rides where you can still ride over break ride to get an additional plus.
Yeah, but for now I just want to get at least 1 more. What he does is when you break right on top of him, your opponent discards and then binds a card in their hand.
It's a +3. It's a +3.
And your Vanguard gets plus 10k. Also, his own effect is that if your opponent has 3 or less cards in the hand, he gets plus 2,000. Just one Stealth Dragon Void Master. He's just basically a grade 3 Dread Master.
And so when those two are on the same problem, it's a lot of pressure. It's either you let it hit, or it's counterblast, or you guard it, or you hit it. You let it hit, and it's counterblast 2, you discard 2.
Only if opponent has more cards in hand than you.
And when it's on Vanguard, it gets plus 3,000 when it attacks. So it's a 12k.
Well, sort of. 2 stealth.
Oh crap. Okay.
2 stealth dragon Yuzukudo Kongo. What he does is you counterblast 1, discard 2 cards. You bind 2 cards in your opponent's hand if they have 4 or more cards in their hand.
So it's a really situational grade 3.
Yeah. I'm gonna be placing at least 1 for one more break right, and they're gonna get Legion soon, and that's probably gonna replace him. His other effect is if you have more cards in your hand than your opponent, he gets plus 2k. And last but definitely not least, 3 Shuro Stealth Dragon Kabuki Kongo. What he does is you counterblast 1. When he declares an attack, counterblast 1, bind all your opponent's rear guards, and that along with Kukujo creates a huge beast stick. Well, also, since most of the time you're gonna have him Kuroko boosting Shuro Stealth Dragon Kabuki Kongo. So you bind all your opponent's units, and that means they can't intercept either because they're now in the bind zone.
And the way his skill works, like let's say your opponent has 2 cards, 2 cards binded, and then you bind, you bind 3. He still gets the plus 10,000 even when he doesn't attack. It just needs to be 3 in their bind zone.
Yeah, and his other skill is just counterblast 1. He gets plus 2,000.
I see him as like the Link Joker of the deck, even though he isn't, because like Glendios or Blaster Joker, how they lock the entire field, he gets rid of the entire field for 1 counterblast.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
and even if he doesn't get the plus 10, it's still good because he gets rid of your opponent's entire field, and they're forced to guard if they want their units back.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that's the Nubatama deck profile. We'll probably update it when the Legion comes out. And yeah, this is Tryano
and Dudley.
And we'll catch you guys later.
All right.
Bye.